Hi, I'm George from Fast Car, and today I'm with Tom from Maguire's and looking at your amazing Mk2 Golf.
What a day for it.
What a day for it. Tom, this is Tom's Vidal 3.
Yeah, the third one.
Yeah, and we've done videos on all your other cars, and we said at the time we're going to come back and do this one when it's
I
finished.
think it was nicer weather then, and we were indoors.
And it was boiling hot, and we were indoors, and today it's freezing cold, and it's wet, and we're outdoors.
Yeah, British weather for you. So this car, we actually did a deal on Facebook Marketplace for a different shell. And in the arrangement to do it, we offered a lowball price, and the lad was like, come get it, but it's got to be tomorrow. I'm like, okay, how are we going to make that happen? On the phone to a good friend of ours, Max Marshall, who people may know, saying, Max, do you fancy there's an Nando's in it for you? We need to go to Norwich and lift this Mk2 Golf. I've got a Mk2 Golf. I'm like, yes, of course you have. You want to have? Yeah, one lady owner from new, got the original bill of sale. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I bet that's lovely, Max. He went, it's been under the tree for 15 years. Do you want it? Like, what? You have it. Like 500 quid, because it needs to go to a good home. And it was mint. All of the bolts internal were all steel zinc coated. It was honestly like you cracked the tightness off and you could just finger lose everything. And having dealing with French cars before, it was bliss. It was beautiful. We couldn't have done much with the original engine, but it was absolutely mint. And Matt at Reflex, who's a Mk2 Nors, was crying when he was like, we've got to cut this up. I'm like, you've got to cut it up. I'm not. So all the purists can be upset with Matt. But yeah, it was really, really good. Really, really good.
Now, your vision for this car, because it's definitely got the Japanese influence
Absolutely.
to it,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
where did that all come from? So talk me about these arches and Pandem style.
So it's a full Rocket Bunny kit.
Well, it is actually a
Rocket
full
Bunny
Rocket Bunny.
Pandem. Yeah. So I've had Japanese cars in the past, so like I can lean on some of that styling, and it kind of spiraled my brain once it got going of Rocket Bunny kit, Japanese. How can we build a Japanese theme in? So there's lots of things around here. So there's the inverted logos. It's an Advan style livery, but obviously with Ruby Stone red Porsche colour, and just trying to bring in that Japanese flair, if you will, but really still homage to Volkswagen stuff. So I always like the subtle bit. So still in all the Advan livery, but it's got the GTI style. We've still done the pink on the bonnet, but in a GTI style, how they would do on a Golf GTI. Yeah. Just trying to, tip a cap to some of the because they're mega cars, right? They've just been done so well over the years.
So you've basically taken two scenes, haven't you, and moulded them together.
Yeah.
And well, let's go and look at those modifications in more detail now.
Absolutely. Cool. Okay, so let's start with wheels and tyres. Wheels and tyres have been supplied by Image Wheels, so they're custom made. They're a VR5, which is their wheel. Typically, they're made in 18x8s, and typically they're for GTR specs. But again, we wanted that Japanese styling. They really do feel like a Japanese wheel. So they've custom made these into 16 by 9, 16 by 10.
Flatted.
Yeah, big girls on the back. And then obviously center lock adapter. So it's a 4x100 normal. The way the adapter works, they build their adapter into the offset of the wheel. So we measure the offset like you would for a normal wheel. I think the adapter's 15 mil. So you basically build that in, and it's bolted on as you would to the 4x100, and then has a center lock. So it is a genuine center lock, but via the adapter.
Okay.
Forge Motorsport have been kind enough for stopping power, so we've got their big brake kit supplied for the front. We've done Mark 4.
Is that a 4-6 pot?
I think they're a 4-pot. They've got them on their Berg Cup car, and I'm pretty sure it's a 4-pot.
That's all you need.
Yeah, it's really nicely balanced. It really stops really well. We've done a GTI rear beam conversion on the back, but then a Mark IV Golf disc brake conversion kit. I learnt this along the way, but the boys at JTech were like, that's what you need to do. It's the modification that really gives it, one, a nice look, but two, some extra power on the brakes as well. I'm a static kid. I'm a 90s child at heart, so static is king for me, but it comes with its problems. The Renault's so low and stiff. We've hit a bump in Ireland and cracked the dash in half, which I think we've shown on our video before. But so with this, we've spoken to Cy Sweetland at Steel Static. We've got H&R Deeps on here, along with the Steel Static adjustable top mount.
So that is what you call a clean bay.
There's a lot of work involved in here with actually keeping the pressed panels. So Matt has done a ton of work where the battery would normally sit. The chassis rail's normally got an indentation. It's just panelled off and just smooth because it's the easier thing to do. Actually the hard work is making it look like it should have been like that, and like you've just lifted something out. There was 55 holes in the bulkhead that got welded up. So the only thing that goes through there is the steering column.
Right.
So it's fly-by-wire now. All the heating matrix is gone, all the wiring, everything. And I think there was 2 weeks of, I went around one point and Matt's fingernails were the same colour as the car, and he told me to go away nicely. Along with alternator, even the silly little thing like the lower cam cover. They gave me a list when we first started talking about stuff. They're like, you need to get a lower cam cover. I'm like, yeah, cool, okay, I'll just put it on the list and I'll deal with it. They kept saying, have you sorted the lower cam cover? Have you sorted the lower cam cover? I'm like, no, what? Just stop going on about the lower cam cover. And then I made an effort to try find one. And I was like, oh,
That's why.
that's why. Oh, they're going to kill me. There's so much stuff. We've got a Corrado 16 valve drive shaft because it's narrower. All of the linkages are all the little tapered and pressed. There's hours and hours and hours of work in here that JTech will shout at me, and I'm just stupid. So I'll apologise to JTech because it's just mega, and the work.
Well, you can tell how much work's gone in there, right?
Yeah.
Because we're talking about the engine, and we're talking about what's not there.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about what is there.
Yeah.
So that isn't your standard engine that came in this. What did you say? It was 1.4?
1300 before.
1300.
1.3 CL before.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
Yeah,
the little thing that was changed in the middle.
Yeah.
2 litre 16 valve ABF on ITBs, Gen V ITB, 45mm ITBs, carbon trumpets. We're hoping for about 190 because it's got a high flow head and the throttle body. So it'll be, it'll rev nicely, but it's not going to be the fastest thing because we had to compromise. And ultimately, it's a show car for us. And if we were tracking it, we'd probably have spent how many in different places,
Another part that you've done loads to is the interior. You've taken more out of that again. So let's go and have a look at that.
Cool.
So Tom, we're in here. Looks like a very nice place to be. So it looks like you've stripped everything out. Talk me through all
So
these
yeah,
bits.
the part and parcel of me was that I wanted it to be a race-inspired car. So custom cages. They're just actually in Daventry, so they're up the road from us. They're club spec style cage that you can go onto their website. You'll actually see a picture of this car, so you can click and buy it. If you're going to go and actually do track stuff, you can get this from them. The logo, so they've laser cut into the gusset in the Maguires and custom cages, which is no mean feat because it's cut as a straight piece of metal and then it's bent. So to fold it and not distort the logos or anything like that is crazy. Dash is, so you said Alcantara, and I'm going to have to correct you because
Okay.
I learned a valuable lesson. It's Dynamica, and Alcantara and Dynamica are names of synthetic fabric that looks like this.
Yeah,
So
so
we know it.
you
To
have-
be, we know it to be Alcantara.
It's a bit like Hoover, isn't it?
It's exactly
Accurate.
that. Yeah. So UK Highs were kind enough to supply us with Dynamica for the dash. Max at Hawks Autos did it all, and I think he loathes the fact that I chose the Dynamica for the seats as well, because these seats aren't easy to trim in Dynamica because it's not a stretchy material, it's not very forgiving. But tying in that Japanese vibe, I found this material on Etsy at about 3 o'clock in the morning down a rabbit hole of what am I going to do, and every other one that I'd found was a printed material and it just wasn't quite right. And in and out of shall I do it, shan't I do it, and then eventually found this, and it's just right. It's dress material. But yeah, I love it. Lashes are carbon fibre. We've got an ECU Masters EM ADU5 dash, which is really cool. Got the Maguire's logos on that, and obviously the CAE shifter as well, just as a nice centerpiece in there with the etched logo, Maguire's logo, joint logo on there as well.
That looks right in place, doesn't
Yeah.
it? And how does that feel when you're driving? You say it transformed it.
It's just so nice, mate. I hadn't actually used one of these before, so I've been a massive fanboy off of online content and been a sucker for all of that. But it's just so it's so secure. It's probably the best word I can. Assured. The gear shift is nice. The location is nice. The way it goes into gear, it makes you feel like a race car driver. So yeah.
Now, I don't know what parts come with the Pandem kit. So what is it? Literally arches, bumpers?
Good question. But you modify everything, right?
Yeah.
So the Rocket Buddy kit from for the Mk2 Golf is arches, front and rear, side skirts, and then bumper sort of, I don't know what you call them,
Extensions.
louvers if you like.
Yes.
For me, I wanted to have the silhouette, so that whole Japanese sort of silhouette, Banzai silhouette. So we've got, for ages I wanted to put a stupid big wing on it. I looked at all sorts of things, but we opted, I was walking around a classic car show and I was looking at a Lancia Delta and I was like, tell you what, that's not far off of a Mark II boot.
And when you look at them, they're very square actually.
And I'd learnt since that some Mark II Golf owners put on Lancia bonnets. They're a straight swap.
Wow.
I don't agree with it. It doesn't look very nice, but it's a straight swap. So this isn't straight. We've had to modify it quite a bit. And weirdly, because of the angle of the boot on the Mark II, so this is actually how they'd have it as a rally spec. So they put these adapters in, but it's adjustable. It's not mechanical, but there's 4 bolts that you can change the angle of the actual fin itself.
Yeah.
It had to be cut in half and it had to be shortened and curved out and made.
Reflex must love you for doing that, because you did that on the 5 as well, didn't you?
Matt hates me when I say I've got a spoiler idea. He's like, just leave, just leave.
Roof,
custom, one-off. It's actually made. So again, you can buy it. So Paul at C6 Carbon, Mr. Carbon. This is an actual mould. It's a structural. It's not a cap. It doesn't fit over the original. It is full roof cut out, full carbon roof bonded into the rails, bonded into the boot shut. And in the original, it's got all the original stud holes to put the guttering back on. I think we saved something like 36 kilos. I've got the maths. Again, it might be wrong. This is something that I like because the kit actually comes and it's a cutout. Yeah, that's the same on, like Kaiser's got on his E36, there's a hole. On these wide arch kits, they leave holes in. I find it a bit, it means you've got a good and a bad side, I think, visually for the car. Matt also agreed. So Matt fabricated this out of a flat piece of metal. So if anyone sees it, it's got an Allen key hot in it, but I mean, that's the cost that we pay to just take the eyeline away from having I don't know what it is, like a 6-inch gap there otherwise. And something that I suppose we should mention, it's all paint.
Yeah.
So everything's painted. There's no vinyl wrap here. All the Maguire's logo, all of the lines, the line comes up over, mimics onto the carbon fibre roof. It's all hand masked out and painted.
And the bumpers, I know you golf boys love your bumpers.
This is the original, so it's not the original. They're a 16 valve big bumper that Matt had in the stores for us. So because again, it was a CL, we didn't have the big bumper, it was a small bumper. So it needed big bumpers to go with the kit. The front lip has to be removable, and I really loathe that because I'm like, you're not really riding though if you're not committed, are you? But it's so low. We've had to put it as a removable item, and it's a show car, so it needs to be like that. Haters can hate on me, and I'm in the haters camp. So I totally get it. I totally agree. But we have to take it off. It's too low. If it gets clattered, it's part of the kit. Then we have to order it from Japan. And overnight parts from Japan aren't really overnight parts from Japan. They cost a bloody fortune. So we just need to look after it.
So there we go. Tom's just talked us through his amazing build on this Rocket Bunny Mark II.
Yep.
Thank you very much for taking the time on this glorious day.
Beautiful day, Goodwood.
Yeah. You're going to be at a load of shows this year, including the German Car Festival.
Right back here in October.
So if you want to see the car live, make sure you go to that. And remember, if you've enjoyed this video, to like, subscribe and share. And don't forget to hit that notification bell.